grading every single pick from the Dallas Cowboys in the 2024 NFL Draft. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is grading the draft picks of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys draft is officially over, and although they did not make the flashiest of picks, they strategically used their selections to address their needs. The Cowboys came into the draft looking to improve at offensive line, linebacker, defensive back, defensive line, and running back. Many are surprised by the Cowboys choosing to pass on a running back in this year's draft. However, with Ezekiel Elliott likely back in Cowboys blue, drafting a RB became an unessential move. The Cowboys will more than likely look into one of the many talented undrafted free agents at running back. The first-round pick is Tyler Guyton, which we rank a B+. Tyler Guyton, who stands at 6'7" and 328 pounds, is the next star lineman for the Cowboys. In 14 games last season for Oklahoma, 1 at LT, 13 at RT, Guyton gave up 0 sacks and 9 hurries. He looks to replace HOF Tyron Smith at left tackle. Guyton remains a project at LT, starting just 1 game at the position last season. This is why I found it challenging to give him a higher grade. The second-round pick is Marshawn Kneeland, which we rank a B, standing at 6'3", 237 pounds. Marshawn Kneeland had an outstanding showing at the Combine, proven to be one of the most athletic edge rushers coming out of this year's draft. With 12.5 sacks and 28 TFLs over 37 games at Western Michigan, Kneeland is more of a run stopper than a pass rusher. Given his athletic ability, he can develop into an elite pass rusher, considering he will be learning behind Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. The third-round pick was Cooper Beebe, and we rank this an A+. The Cowboys hit a home run with this selection. At 6'3", 322 pounds, Cooper Beebe won back-to-back Big 12 Lineman of the Year awards, along with a first-team All-American honor. Beebe will likely start at the center position next season. He also provides excellent depth playing at left tackle, left guard, and right tackle in 4 seasons, starting for Kansas State. Another third-round pick was Maris Lufau, and we rank this grade B. The Cowboys have been atrocious stopping the run over the last 3 seasons, and linebacker was a must in this year's draft. At 6'2", 234 lbs, Lufau has the length, strength, and speed to turn into an elite run stopper for years to come. As the 133 ranked prospect according to ESPN, I would have liked to see the Cowboys trade back to select him. 5th round was Kalen Carson, and rank this grade B. Kalen Carson is an explosive athlete and a great tackler considering his position. At 6'0", 199 lbs. Carson uses his speed and physicality to break up passes and often makes an impact defending the run. If Carson struggles to earn snaps at corner next season, Carson's effort, physicality, and speed will earn him a spot on our special teams unit. 6th round is Ryan Flournoy, ranking this a D+. As just the second SEMU player to participate in the Senior Bowl, Ryan Flournoy had 2 targets, finishing the game with 1 catch for 13 yards and a 5-yard rush. At 24 years old, Flournoy is 6'1", 202 pounds, with a 4.44 40-yard dash. He is a great athlete and will be competing to make the roster in training camp. I think this pick would have been better spent on a defensive back. 7th round is Nathan Thomas, and grade this a C+. After losing 2 starters on their offensive line to free agency, the Cowboys made it their mission to replace them. Nathan Thomas is 6'5", 332 pounds, and is extremely quick for his size. His overall size and athleticism can diminish every move an edge rusher throws at him. 7th round is Justin Rogers, and also grade this a C+ as well. It becomes very difficult to find impactful players this late into the draft, but Justin Rogers has very good upside. Rogers stands at 6'3", 330 pounds. Starting just 7 games in his senior season, Rogers records 17 total tackles and a sack. His overall size will take up blockers, making room for our linebackers and edge rushers. Overall, I believe Dallas Cowboys did a great job with the draft picks they had, especially with ones late in the round. The Cowboys came into the draft with a couple goals in mind: to fill their needs and become tougher in the trenches. The Cowboys did just that, adding 3 players to their offensive line and 2 to their defensive. They also addressed their needs at linebacker and defensive back, drafting players with success in college and potential in the NFL. The second story is Dallas Cowboys predicted to land playmaking 6'3" QB. The Dallas Cowboys continue to face a decision on Dak Prescott's future, prompting rumors on alternative quarterback options if no new extension is reached. Smart money is on the Cowboys and Prescott to eventually come to an agreement. Yet, if Week 1 hits with no new deal in sight, it might be time for Dallas to consider a backup plan. Prescott has no trade and no franchise tag clauses, which will allow the star to hit free agency in 2025 if he does not sign an extension. Pro Football Network's Ian Cummings put together an early 2025 NFL mock draft using the latest Super Bowl odds to determine the order. The analyst has the Cowboys taking Texas A&M Aggies quarterback Connor Weigman with the number 24 pick. Cummings noted, "There's a chance that Dallas is looking for a new quarterback in 2025. At the moment, the Cowboys' situation with Dak Prescott has a feel of tepid pessimism to it." Cummings wrote in an April 27, 2024 story titled, "2025 NFL Mock Draft. Carson Beck joins the Giants, Luther Burden III, and Tedairoa McMillan fight for WR1. It's hard to imagine Prescott playing anywhere else, but the lack of an extension to this point looms large. There's a chance the Cowboys are looking for a new QB in 2025. Though Connor Weigman only played in 4 games in 2023 before an injury cut his season short, the former 5-star recruit showed promise in that span. He has enough functional burst to be a factor off script, but he also has a live, elastic arm and great touch. There is a lot to unpack here, but let's start with the Cowboys lacking great alternative options if the team moves on from Prescott. Dallas's best pathway to landing their next quarterback is either through the draft or via trade. Prescott would be the rare exception to a star quarterback hitting free agency. Dallas is unlikely to be picking high enough in the 2025 NFL Draft to have a chance to land one of the top quarterback options like Colorado's Shedeur Sanders or Georgia's Carson Beck. This puts them in the speculative category on the next group of quarterbacks that likely have a lot to prove. If Cowboys fans have frustration with Prescott, imagine turning over the offense to a quarterback like Weigman, who currently has 9 career starts. The third story is Ezekiel Elliott opens up about Cowboys reunion. Ezekiel Elliott is a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Having signed his new deal on Tuesday, the former All-Pro running back preparing to report for off-season conditioning with quarterback Dak Prescott and the rest of his offensive counterparts to begin preparation for the 2024 Season 1 that will mark his 9th in the league and 8 with the Cowboys. His lone year away from Dallas was spent with the New England Patriots as number 15 in 2023. But he picked up his former number 21 in his reunion with the Cowboys, presumably sticking with it going forward. "It feels great to be home," said the former 2-time NFL rushing champ. "I definitely missed being here. I missed this building. I missed Cowboys Nation. I'm definitely excited and ready to get this thing going." Things look wildly different this time around in the running backs room for Elliott, however. Tony Pollard now plays for the Tennessee Titans, and Rico Dowdle having ascended to being his complimentary back along with Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Luepke, Snoop Connor, and Royce Freeman, all being names that weren't present when Elliott was leading the locker room as recently as the 2022 season. "It's definitely good to see TP get paid," said Elliott. "He's a tremendous back who's had a hell of a career. I'm excited for him and his family. It'll definitely be different," talking about the explosiveness Tony brings to the room. That's where Dowdle comes into play, though, and Elliott is very familiar with Dowdle's style of play from their several seasons together prior to 2023. "Rico definitely had a great year. Last year finally got his health together," Elliott said. He was able to showcase his ability, he runs the ball super hard, and that's something I love about his game. It'll be fun to play with Rico again this year. For Elliott, it's all about stepping in and being what the Cowboys need. A leader on the field and a mentor in the locker room and meeting rooms. Things he has proven to be in years past. He's mentally a far cry from when he entered the league as Dallas's 4th overall pick in 2016, an unproven talent with a lot to prove, and who, alongside Prescott, was asked to shoulder the weight of moving the entire organization into the post-Tony Romo era. Nowadays, he's the 8-year veteran with stories to tell and lessons to share. Just being in this league for as long as I have been, and being comfortable with who I am, and having as many reps as I have,